Well, the updated auto no-fault law has changed the benefits motorcyclists can receive if they're involved in an accident. So Tom Sinas joining us here to discuss how claims can be capped and what motorcyclists will be liable for covering now. Of course, this all changed, what, June, is that right?
So this is confusing.
Okay.
So we had on June 11th, 2019, we had a massive overhaul of the no-fault law that went into effect.
Okay.
But this overhaul affects different areas of the no-fault system at different points in time.
Okay.
So for motorcyclists, the changes that they're going to be experiencing aren't really right now. They're really about a year from now and into the future.
Gotcha.
So let's go back to the way it's always been for motorcyclists involved in car accidents. Ever since the no-fault law was passed back in the early 1970s, motorcyclists involved in car accidents were entitled to receive no-fault benefits, which of course most significantly included their ability to get lifelong medical care.
Wow, okay.
All right, and it's always been that way. There was also always been a strange little rule applying to motorcyclists. That's what we call the priority rule, which is where do motorcyclists go to draw their benefits?
Right.
The rule has always been, and it will still be, that motorcyclists first go to the car that struck them, not to their own auto insurance. Okay, they go to the car that struck them to collect their no-fault benefits. That still is unchanged. So what is really different for motorcyclists? Well, what's really different is what's going to happen in a year from now, because beginning in July of 2020, this new legislation authorizes the sale of what are called PIP choice policies.
Okay.
But what they really are policies that limit the amount of no-fault benefits. Yet motorcyclists are still stuck collecting their no-fault benefits from the car that hits them. So what's going to happen is that if a motorist purchases a limited no-fault policy, let's say limits the benefits to $250,000.
They think they're saving money up front, buying a cheaper policy, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Motorcyclists will be stuck with that limited policy.
Okay.
Even if the motorcyclist bought an unlimited no-fault policy.
Gotcha.
Okay, this is where I think there's a real breakdown in this part of the legislation, because if a motorcyclist chooses to buy an unlimited no-fault policy so that they have access to that lifelong medical care, they should be able to get access to the policy. But the problem with the way this law is drafted, and some have been suggesting it needs to be fixed, is that in the future, if a motorcyclist is the victim of a motorist who has a limited policy...
It's the randomness of who hits them, essentially.
Perfectly stated.
There you go.
The randomness. So for now, that randomness exists, and I am hopeful that the legislature will revisit this, because it's one of the areas I think that really is flawed.
No matter what a motorcyclist does, they think they protect themselves. They get hit by a person who didn't have the maximum, they're in trouble because of it.
The way it is now, that's true.
Very interesting, Tom. There's a lot to learn from this. Where do people track you down?
So best place to go really here is our website, sinusdramus.com. On the website, there's a lengthy summary that we've written about this new auto no-fault legislation. You and I, Derek, have been talking about little parts, but the whole thing is summarized there. Or give us a call in West Michigan, 616-301-3333. Shoot us an email at info@sinusdramus.com.
Good stuff. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Derek.